Hello, Earthling peeps out there. I've decided to do a double dose of video recording today because I'm deeply involved in writing my novel series. And so I have to do these now at like a couple at a time so that I don't have too long a space in between posting on my channel that I'm trying to build. By the way, if you can like and subscribe on my channel, I would greatly appreciate it. It helps with the algorithm and getting the messages out there that I get downloaded. Anyhow, today's video is on an interesting, cute little story. I have recorded something about this before, but I think it was on the Third Eye Sister Souls podcast. So some of you might already be familiar with this story, but newcomers, this will be something that you might not know about. So anyways, this watch here, it's got a really interesting story. The night before I discovered it, I was with my son, and we had gone to this motorcycle festival thing, Bike Fest, in our town. They have famous rock bands and all that, and we had a good time and everything, but I had a shoulder injury going on, and I got my first tattoo that night, by the way. I got Sobek's name tattooed on my arm because he is the main character in my book series When Life and Dreams Meet. Anyways, the next day, and I had taken a very light purse. Of course, I didn't bring it with me out here. I didn't think to bring it out here when filming this, but it's only like, it's very small. It's only this big and that, and I didn't carry my wallet in it or anything that would add extra weight because I had such pain, and it didn't matter if I were to carry it on one shoulder or the other. It caused so much pain in this particular arm. So and I'm right-handed, so I tend to carry it usually more on the right. And the next day had come, and before I had used that purse the night before, I had made sure, because I didn't want any extra weight, so I had made sure that there was nothing. I checked all the zip compartments and everything to make sure it was completely empty. The purse was given to me just a couple weeks or so prior from a friend who was getting rid of stuff. So, and of course, she made sure it was empty. But then I made sure it was empty. I had opened every compartment on it because, like I said, I didn't want any extra weight, because I was trying to go with the most bare minimum, basically carrying my cash, you know, my ID, and maybe a little lipstick. I mean, it was very minimal because I did not want, my cell phone. That was like the heaviest thing in there was my phone. I wasn't going anywhere without that. So the next day had come, and my son wanted to take us out to eat. And so I get myself ready, and with the family, we were all going to go out to eat. And I noticed when I came out and then got in the car, it's like, man, my purse feels heavier, you know? And so I decided to look in it to see what was making it heavier than it was the other day, or the other night, the night before. And I'm looking, I don't see anything, and then I open the zip compartment that I had that was completely shut, and all of a sudden I discovered this. And at first I got annoyed and blamed my son, and I was like, Brandon, why did you put this men's watch in my bag? I said, you know, I don't want any extra weight. It hurts for me to carry anything, you know, my shoulder's injured and I don't want to be carrying around extra weight. And he was like, Mom, for starters, I don't own a watch and I don't wear them. So he says, I've never seen that before. And when I got to thinking about it, I thought, well, he's right. When I was like, I don't ever remember him wearing a watch, nor do I know I never gave him a watch. I know. And I was thinking, wait a minute, no, he hasn't ever owned a watch, right? So then I got concerned, and I started thinking, perhaps when I was getting that tattoo, the guy that was doing the tattoo, did he have a watch on and it fell into my bag? But when I thought about it, it didn't make any sense because this, for one thing, the clasp, I dropped it since then, but the clasp was completely closed. It was sealed, right? It was not open, okay? And the other thing was, it was in the compartment zipped up. The tattoo artist would not have sat there and, you know, unzipped my purse and undid the clasp and let it fall into my it just didn't make sense. I was like, well, for obvious, I'm not going to do like that, right? So I was like, this is so weird, because I had remembered that I had checked my bag completely and there was never a watch in it. It was completely empty. So I was talking about it with my friend Aurora, and I said, you know what I'm going to do? I said, I'm going to do some psychometry on it, because one of the things I do is psychometry, where psychometry is where you read energy off of an object, and you can start to get an idea of where that object might have come from, or how it was connected. And here's what was weird about the whole thing. So I did this psychometry, and I started picking up right away. I got the sense military, and then I was like, okay, Navy. This is someone, and I saw a black officer doctor in the Navy, and I found that to be very, very interesting. And then I kind of left it at that, and, you know, thought about other things, didn't think about it anymore the rest of that day. And I went to bed that night, and, you know, you cannot make yourself, I mean, you can try, but a lot of times you cannot make yourself dream about someone or something, you know, like sometimes with horror movies, we might get things that might get stuck in our brain or whatever, but you can't force yourself. Whatever you're going to dream, you're going to dream. And it was really wild, because that night I dreamed about this military black male doctor, and I saw him young in the military, and he was going into a room, and I saw frosted glass. Now, to me, I know dreams, there's metaphors, right? Metaphor stuff. And the frosted glass represented top secret, okay? And I couldn't see who or what they, you know, were working on, but I heard artificial AI, not regular AI technology, but it said ET, advanced technology. That's what it was. Advanced technology. It was ET, advanced technology. I heard that in my dream. And the next day I woke up and I was like, that's so wild. And I was telling Aurora, it's so weird. I said, and it was ET, AI technology, whatever you want to call it, it was for the good. It wasn't negative, okay? It can be used for good ways or it can be used for bad, but this was for the good, right? And because I got a really good feeling off of this gentleman. And so the next day when I was telling Aurora, she's like, well, have you, why don't you do some more psychometry on it? Maybe see if you can get a name and all that. And so I did. And it was really difficult, because I went over to a place to try and get some peace, because it's chaotic in my home with animals and everything, you know, 6 cats and dogs and everything else got going on. And I went to this place, and it seemed like everybody decided, it was a weekday, and everybody decided they were going to go there too. And so it was not easy trying to concentrate. And I got this one name. I can't give any names and stuff on here, because I don't want to get in trouble for anything with privacy kind of type things, okay? Um, but I got this name that's, I guess I could say this, started with a W. And the name I got, um, it was, well, I got that, and I got, what else was it? I got the name of a grandmother, and perhaps the other thing I got, I'm trying to remember because this was a while ago. Was it a wife or whatever? Anyways, I don't remember it all now. But what I can tell you is, because this was a little while ago, it was like a good year ago, I think, when all this happened. And so Aurora decided to do some research on the name I get, because I got two names. I got the first and the last, but I also got another name. And then what I was picking up was that this guy had a brother. So Aurora went and decided to do some research, and she on the name, and she said at first she couldn't find it. She put the names together and she couldn't find a black medical doctor in the name. So she decided to change one syllable in the last name, and boom, she brought it up on this site that was for like retired military vets and that were honored. And all of a sudden it has this whole profile, it has pictures, and she showed it to me, and I was like, holy cow. And I said, that is the man. That's the one who I saw in my dreams, right? And he was young, and the man is now a lot older, since retired. And the whole thing began to make sense, because it was revealed that he had a very high level position in the military, but retired now. And guess what military he was in? The Navy. I picked all this up off of this watch. And here's where it gets even more interesting. I never thought to look at the, I never thought about this, the engraving, well, on the back. And it has a, a serial number and all that. And it says, what Aurora found out was that, and she sent the information to me, was that the watch, while common, it is also uncommon. And I was like, okay. What it was that this particular watch is, you can only get it, it's common, but you can only get it through the military. This particular one that with the serial number. Now it looks like just like anybody's man's watch, right? But this has a specific number on the back that is solely you get it through the military. So I was like totally blown away. And how the heck this thing ended up on me, I have no idea. But then I started to remember something. Any of you watched the movie Poltergeist back in the first one from the 1980s or that? So to me, I mean, there was some real truths in there, right? There was at one point where through the portal or whatever that was in their home, all these pieces from somewhere really old or whatever it was, and one of the things that dropped was a watch. It came out of their ceiling, all this stuff, right? So because I had made a joke with Aurora, and I was like, what am I, a sleeping kleptomaniac? How did I get this? And so yes, so this watch I hang on to dearly now. It has great significance. I did try to reach out to the man that about this, but Unfortunately, I did not hear back, and because I was going to ask them if this was their watch and they wanted it back, but I was never, I had no success with it. So anyways, I don't know how much you'd like that I dropped it. Broke the clasp on it. And it's got some little shavings that broke. It was one of those things that slipped out of my hand, and I was like, oh gosh, I didn't mean to do that. It happened. It was an accident. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to drop it. So anyways, but that is my watch story, and I will end this video now, and sending you guys out light, love, peace, happiness, joy. Oh, one more thing. When I was writing my When Life and Dreams Meet story series, there's a part in the book where my main character, the female character, gets this, or has this dress, and it's through Sobek and everything, and it's conjures up this dress that is made from precious stones. Well, right after me writing that for about 2 weeks, it was right around my birthday, precious stones started appearing around my yard, and they're not all from Florida, and some of them are not polished and some of them are polished, and one of them was a crystal. And that crystal, I have those too. I can always show that on a video later, or even take a picture of it. I got all excited because what appeared, and how I thought, it's funny, it seems like it also relates to my birthday, and it was just after I wrote this bit. I had found 9 stones in like a 2-week period, and I was all excited, and I was like, oh my gosh, this must be due about my birthday, because my birthday is March 9th. But then later, one day, I got bummed because I found a 10th stone, right? Well, time on the other side, they don't see things linear like we do, right? So I was feeling really bummed. I was like, oh, I guess it didn't have to do about that. Well, later that night, cats, right? My cat Stinkerdoodle ended up deciding he wanted, and I was stupid enough to leave my stones sitting out, right? He decided this would be the best place to lay, and he absolutely could not have anything in his way. So what did he do? He kicked my stones off that went crashing down on the floor, and one of them shattered. It was a crystal, and I have it. It's like a yellowish green color crystal. I'll show it sometime, either in pictures or in perhaps another video. But anyways, then it made it so I was back down to 9 stones. 4 of them I think are moonstones, but I think I ended up with 5 moonstones because of that happening. They gave me another moonstone. So it's really, really neat. And then I got, I think, I know one is the purple amethyst, and then one of the rough stones that wasn't polished is like ruby and that. But it was really cool. So that was, the watch was not the first experience I have had with things materialize for me. And I've heard from other intuitives that it's happened with them where, well, I've heard they've shared stories where people would wake up and find a stone under their pillow or something, like a precious stone. Anyhow, I better go. Sending out light, love, peace, happiness, joy, wherever you are. Love you guys. All right. Take care.